Yeah, I think this TV is too small for 1080p. On January 25th, 2023, Tango Gameworks, best known for the horror game duology Evil Within, Ghostwire, with Bethesda publishing and making their own games from early 2010s masterpieces, and layer some stuff with questionable results, Shadow dropped a game that would become an unexpected hit known as Hi-Fi Rush, a hack-and-slash action game inspired by Edgar Wright movies such as the Cornetto Trilogy, Baby Driver, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It was made with no marketing, no PR, and no announcement, if the only thing they relied on was a flashy comic book art style on their Steam store page and a big Bethesda publisher and developer name. The game received praise from gamers and critics alike, even killing off a game that was meant to be the next big thing until some no-name just killed it off for being bland and boring. It even won Best Audio Design on the 2023 Game Awards. Just audio design? Really? What about the music? Or the art style? Now, I actually got this game as a gift on my 23rd birthday.
Thank you, God!
But the reason I haven't played yet because my PC at the time played like this. Sure, the game isn't exactly very graphic heavy, but just in case it didn't run, I decided not to install it. Plus, I got it for free anyway. I got a brand new expensive rig, and I still haven't played it yet. But then on May 7th, 2024, yes, my 24th birthday, Tango Gameworks, as well as other Bethesda-owned studios, decided to get shut down by Xbox execs for reasons or something, I don't know, which is both a dumb and stupid business decision. What the fuck, guys? So as a way to respect Tango Gameworks, what better way to do it other than finally playing this game for the first time? Man, fate is so weird sometimes. With that being said, let's rock and roll and let's go! Where after applying some options after the intro, you start off the game with 4 difficulty levels, which informs the player's enemy health, how much damage you'll receive, and the rhythm button timing press. This may be my first time playing this game, but since I've played enough hack and slash games, I think I'll go for hard mode. Let's just hope I'm good with the timing though. In this game, you play as Chai, a 25-year-old man. Wait, 25? Not a teenager? Maybe I do still have time to make my own music before I turn too old to be hip. Yeah, my music sucks. You know, the song sounds familiar. Wait, is this? Yep, licensed music. Which is why they made streamer mode in the first place. And because of copyright reasons, I'm not allowed to play this out loud. Not like my channel is monetized. Still, I do love how they put the song name, artist, the album, and the record label, which makes me feel like I'm playing a music video. I also adore its 2.5D animation style and its illusion of combining 2D cartoons, comics, and 3D cel-shaded animations. And of course, anime. So your CyberGarm conversion is pretty much complete, but Chai has been considered a defect, not because you got 4 fingers linked to every guard wanting to kill you for being an imperfection, but because the main big baddie threw your iPod and implanted it into your heart, so nice job breaking its villain. If anything, this should have been considered a happy accident, but then again, it has been established that this guy doesn't like Rockstar, so there's that. And now that you've unlocked your newfound musical powers, this is where the fun begins. It's like a punk rock rebel you are, it's all up to you to fight the system. With a music system in your body. And by pressing the select button, you can turn on this metronome assist, but I will admit this thing is kinda annoying to look at. Especially in combat where you have to fight more than one enemy. I did eventually got used to it, even to the point where I don't need it anymore.
What are you?
Vandalay Smartbridge VASF07, but commonly known as Smidge. I know everything about you. I look forward to our next chat.
Okay, that was just creepy.
Smart fridges. They are weird inventions we got, but it's a weird invention we need. Oh, I look cool. So you managed to rescue a robot cat and learn that it can talk because technology. Well, actually it's not talking cat, it's just that someone is using her as a voice to speak to you. Meet 808, which when you think about it is a play-by-play word of the word Bob, as in Bobcat. or Link's, which sadly she looks nothing like one. Why not? Doesn't it make me look hip and cool with the kids because I'm rich? Oh, subscribe for more dad jokes. I'm not even a dad. Try touches 808, and the two get linked up, which unlocks the beat hit. Timing-based combo where you have to time the button at the end, which gives you bonus points and bonus damage. But of course, every time a combo ends, you need to make sure you hit the right time and press the right button. Otherwise, you get an okay result, or the button just doesn't input it. Or if you're a lazy bum, you can just spam the crap out of the button and hope you get perfect. So much for timing, no wonder I keep getting a C. Upon exploring the map, you'll get to find these buttons to open up doors, and what I find clever about these is that it actually helps you practice your timing, and whoa! Would you look at that world! Need I remind you that this place is a campus? Still, if you're expecting this to be an open world adventure game, also being some kind of stuntman simulator, then this game isn't for you. So much for this spectacle. Guess you're better off playing Sunset Overdrive. Except there's no cell sheet graphics like Jet Set Radio. Or Ultimate Spider-Man for that matter. Not saying that they should make Hi-Fi Rush an open world action stuntman simulator, but the devs should do whatever they want in the sequel as long as it's executed well. If they're still alive, that is! Now, sometimes the game would throw in these side-scroller platform segments, which on one hand is pretty neat, but most of the time is just jumping, avoiding hazards, and no enemies to fight. So you get to your first boss, and one of the coolest things about the boss level is that each phase is actually based on song structures. Verse 1, Chorus 1, Verse 2, and Chorus 2. That's quite a clever way to inform what boss phase you're in. You get defeated by a boss and they'll pretty much taunt you lying dead on the ground. It ain't an Arkham-style game over, but it's okay, I guess. You know, I wish I could let you guys listen to background music because I kinda like how some of the sound effects from the boss and the cutscenes actually sync with the music. But due to copyright reasons, you'll just have to file it yourself in another video. So you beat level 1, meet Peppermint in her hideout where you can chat, upgrade yourself at the store, do out your graffiti collection, complete this huge painting depending on how many achievements you got, read some notes you found throughout the game's level, and use the mirror to change your look. Using the store, you can buy some normal attacks, special attacks, item pieces where you can buy a life gauge, revive core, a health tank that I think works like Metroid's energy tank if I read it right, and the only special attack slot upgrade in the game, which gives you only one slot. Really? Just one? The last thing you can buy in the store are chips that you can use to somewhat modify your playstyle. Of course, if you have enough chip slots, you can mix and match to create a playstyle that suits your gameplay. You can also upgrade them, but the more you level up a chip, the more slot it requires to put it in. So try using them wisely. Now the life gauge and revive core pieces, while they are quite easy to find, I will admit their hiding spots are a bit clever. Or maybe that's just me being the explore first story later type of player. You can also try doing some NPC submissions to get them, but I only found 2 NPCs side quests so far. Moving on to the story, you're now tasked to take out the higher-ups in order to find passkeys to learn about the Spectra program. This is the level where you unlock a magnetic grappling hook used to reach for platforming purposes and to get close to enemies, and ride on small pipes to grind. Yeah, this game definitely needs a stuntman simulator spin-off. Oh wait, the studio's dead. Now there aren't any weapon unlocks in this game, so the guitar is the only weapon you got. But you do however get summon abilities. And if you time it right, you can try doing a partner summon special attack. But they require reverb gauges, just to make sure you don't abuse it. First one is Peppermint, and her power is to use her little Nerf gun to shoot down energy shields. Or some conveniently placed button switches. You can also use her to keep the enemies up in the air for juggling purposes. Also, something I noticed for the first time in these levels is how some background objects would sync with the music. It doesn't happen with every entity, but when you see it, it actually made me realize how much care and effort into adding these details. Oh hey, it's Sebastian and Joseph from Evil Within. Who would have thought that this is the last time we get to see them? So I get to the second boss, Rika, and she's basically the strong wrestler boss type, but at least she mostly does the cliche dash attack only in the first verse. Oh, and it comes to my attention that this is the only arena that makes use of the grappling magnet in combat. which made me realize something about most arenas, which shows one of Hi-Fi Rush's flaws, and it's that every single arena is either a square, a rectangle, or a circle. So the arena variety here is a bit lacking, and the only time you get hazards is in this lava level and another where the floor is electric. It doesn't feel enough, because I feel like it would have been nice to have, I don't know, lonely or a few enemies just walking by patrolling, or maybe a hallway arena, or maybe an arena that lets you go up and down different floors, or just an arena with simple obstacles, just standard blockades. So for a game that focuses on being a hack and slash, it kinda sucks that arena variety is a bit lacking. Either this is intentional, or the arena levels are just rushed. Hi-Fi rushed. Okay, this is my third bad joke already. And Peppermint hates jokes.
We are indeed.
Terrible, Chai. Just get in there.
I guess I know we won't get along with me together. But yeah, I feel like this is something that would have been improved if there was a sequel. But no, they just have to shut down the studio. So we get to the R&D branch, where we pretend to be a test subject in order to get to the next boss, Zanzo.
Fucking shit! Is that a motherfucking JoJo reference?
Unfortunately, once you reach the test chambers, you get this unskippable dialogue which slows down the pacing, if you ever replayed the level except for the tutorials. This is where you unlock parrying, which is used to defend yourself but not counter it. That's something you have to buy in the store separately. I mean, I've only found a counter heavy attack skill, but not for the light attack, though I'm not sure if this thing exists, since if you want to unlock a new move, you'll have to find these comic books that scatter around the level. And then you can buy in stores. Now, stronger enemies, when you parry them, it'll take a few times, but sometimes they would enter a rage mode, which will force you to be trapped in the parry minigame. And if you completely suck at it, you're pretty much trapped in this segment until you time exactly right, parrying every attack. Yes, you heard me, every attack. And if you somehow keep sucking it, you're pretty much stuck in purgatory forever, so unless you, the player, are a Form 3 lightsaber master, you pretty much become a master of Hi-Fi Rush. So I pretty much gave up following this bar and started looking at the enemy animation frames. And what do you know? I actually find looking at enemy animation frames way more useful than this speech bubble. Or it can just spam the crap out of the B button and hope you parry their attacks. Yeah, that actually worked. But if you have enough reverb gauge, you can actually beat the enemy while it's in rage mode. Remember, it's not cheating if you're thinking outside of the box. The next test chamber introduces an enemy with Z shielding, which you can't break or destroy. This leads you to a new summon character, Macaron.
Didn't mean to frighten you, little guy.
Guys, we found the answer! Aim directly for the Z! Right!
Now, even though we're in a new hideout, it doesn't seem like you can change location, because this seems like the only other hideout in the game, because once you continue, you can't go back here. Now, by unlocking Macaron, this also means that he handles the shop now, while Peppermint now gives you a training room to practice your combos. He also has a robot assistant, Cinnamon, but he doesn't really do anything in the game since he's not even a summon character. He just stays there, next to the mirror, and that's it. Chai, Peppermint, Macaron, and Cinnamon? What is this, English breakfast? So now we have anti-barrier and anti-shield summons to break their defenses, but I kinda wish there's a chip that could let me destroy their blocks without using a summon. I mean, it's not like these guys are as bad as the color-coded enemies of the DMC reboot. Just that if you attack them wrong, they'll pretty much slow down their fluidity in combat, and you have to wait for a recharge if you miss them. I don't know if there's a chip where you can destroy the defenses without needing summons, but I might check back later. For now, I'll stick with the cooldown summon playstyle. So we finally get to Zanzo, and his boss fight is... yeah, he doesn't really have a boss fight. You're always expecting to fight some illusion type boss. I don't even want to call this level itself a boss fight, it's just a platforming level which makes him a bossless boss fight. Wait, is that a waifu pill of himself? Talk about self-sexual narcissism, his ego levels are off the chart.
Here it is.
Okay, but this isn't the end of the level yet, because now you have a platform section where you get chased by this laser grid trying to kill you, get captured anyway, and hey, what do you know? Looks like everything's fine after all.
Chai, so great to see you.
Glad to see we all made it out of that pickle.
Nah, just kidding, this entire thing's just a dream. Again, despite being some kind of prison lockup area, it would have been nice if this place was a hallway fight segment, but nope. Can't be a arena if it's an empty square, circle, or rectangle. Well, I guess I can give credit to this part since there's a dome, so 8+ for progress? Now, right after I did this mission, I literally left for a while to take a break and touch grass. Once I did come back, I somehow ended back in the hideout, which leads to these funny conversations of characters telling me to go back to where you came, since you aren't supposed to be here.
Chai, I just told you not to ask about it. It'll break my immersion.
I know we all need to take a break once in a while, but you're right in the middle of Vandalay security.
Yep, even Macaro knows that I left the game for a while.
Even more confusing.
The next boss fight we face is Corsica, and unfortunately her boss fight is a parry minigame, and not like the first two bosses. It also introduces dodging and parry combat, but not many enemies use this. For me, it's just that they only exist in harder difficulties, so if they do, please let me know. And again, best way to parry their attacks is just spam tapping while looking at the animations. Otherwise, you fail like me. But unlike the other bosses, Corsica actually joins her team. And her summon ability is using her twin batons to do a tornado that disables fire attacks from fire robots, making her the only non-anti-shield attacker. She can stun enemies, but she can't deal damage. Wait a second, I am a fire-type robot. Guess that's another girl I won't get long. Ah, maybe this robot is the real boss fight, and yeah, it's just a cutscene. Heck, this is the only time we get to see this robot, by the way. We don't even get to fight him. Like, what is this? Spider-Man 2 Beetle cutscene? They're even on the railway!
Some other time, spider jerk.
So anyway, Corsica betrays Kale after discovering the truth about Spectra, but then Kale says this.
Not control, I'm freeing them.
Now, I find this to be a very interesting plot point that's actually used to free them, which works on paper, but it goes nowhere, as if it's never written, and which I'll get to that part later. But for now, let's just say that the story of Hi-Fi Rush is not the strongest. Sure, this game does reveal that there's some family drama in the story, but even with the colorful cast of characters, it's not strong enough to hold the game's story. Even when the plot twists of Peppermint and Kale are actually related being revealed, it's just meh, unobvious, because look at them. I can't really figure out the puzzle once you notice they almost look the same. But hey, story in a game is like story in a porn movie, right? And this is like the third game that I've brought up this quote. After facing 7 levels of no real boss fights, yes, 7 levels of no boss fight, as in real boss fight, in a 12 level game, we finally get to a real boss fight with no random gimmicks, and no budget wasting, just a straight up, standard, everyday basic, one-on-one duel of putting the game's mechanics to a test, and an occasional rhythm mini-game. Ah, figures. But it's fine, I'm fine with this. Yeah, it's cool. Though I find it weird that there's this huge empty gap of no real boss fights, and I can't believe that took this long until we get to the next one. And I'm not counting Corsica because she's basically just a minigame, or tutorial at best. And speaking of huge empty gaps, we also get to this only arena with actual set pieces. Until you smash them, that is. And hey, what do you know, a boss that isn't human-sized for once since the first boss. So we finally beat all the top-ranking generals, go high up into the top executive floors, and plot twist. The real villain's actually Peppermint and Kale's mom. Dun dun dun.
What a twist!
Through mind control, so she's not evil. Subscribe. And this brings me back to my problem with Spectra. Back in that cutscene of that cool looking robot that then became a boss fight, Kale said that Spectra was made to free people, which makes me wonder if this is foreshadowing a bigger evil. Like, I thought maybe Roxanne was the villain, which is probably still a predictable plot twist, but at least it's still effective. Then again, even if we have her as the real villain, that would make this lighthearted game too dark, so don't make her the villain. But really, there's no bigger evil like some evil virus trying to mind rape people, or maybe something else that could be a threat to humanity. But the reason why Spectra is made because new products are just hard to think of. So he just wants people to keep buying Vandalay tech because fuck the free market, am I right? But disappointing twists aside, there is still light in the end of the tunnel. We are currently in the last 2 levels and it is amazing. Amazingly beautiful. Just when all hope seems lost and Chai becomes out of character by giving up, your company motivates you and reminds you that you aren't being yourself, and by using the beat of your musically powered heart, the game gives you this powerful moment of using the power of music, featuring this amazing track
while thinking about your friends.
You may not be slain, but you get it done.
I like this new Chai. He's quite come around, hasn't he?
I do trust you. You know that, right?
I, for one, Mr. Chai, like your pants. Good enough.
Believe me, I wish I can play the music in this part, but because of copyright reasons, I just can't do it. If you already played Hi-Fi Rush, and you probably know how I'm feeling right now. But if you haven't, don't just watch the cutscene. Get this game yourself and experience it with your hands on a controller. Now say what you want about people who earn rare achievements, since some of them are just easy, but only 3.7 people managed to get this achievement. I'm sorry, 3.7? I don't know how you idiots somehow failed this part, but if I were you, go back to this part and get this achievement flawlessly. You are a disgrace if you fail at this part. Heck, you don't even deserve rights anymore. You disappoint me. With the force field broken, Chai and the gang team up to destroy Kale's new robot, which was refurbished from Zanzo's level, and through an unexpected moment, my Roboy Cinnamon finally gets his time to shine after levels of him not being a summon. Yes, that's right. Cinnamon finally gets a short moment of him being a playable character, wanting to pick up a giant dismembered arm, and just like the Power Rangers, finish off Kale's giant mech with a huge bazooka cannon finisher. What a beautiful level. Oh wait, there's more. Now we gotta deal with Kale, but since he used Spectra to mind control Chai, this time 808 gets to have a playable moment. Hell yeah! So 808 frees Chai from mind control, it's time for the final boss. Now while this is a challenging boss, I'm not exactly a fan of the shield breaking segment, because there are times where for some reason I miss. Somehow? Seriously Macron, just please just hit him. Now the final phase is where shit goes batshit insane. This dude starts shooting lightning bolts, and even when I try to time it right, I still keep getting hit. Parrying is a huge pain in the ass, and the tiny drones make it more annoying to defend yourself. But there is an exploit. Well, exploit is a strong word. Let's say trick. Unless you invest in enough regrip gauges and have summon combos, you can whoop Kale's ass and save the day. Hell frickin' yeah!
This is just too much work.
Ouch! She just watched her own brother die. Blown to bits! Well, I guess redemption arcs are overrated these days.
Is that it?
Roxanne's freed from mind control, life goes back to normal, and the story ends with a sequel bait, teasing the next story.
It's Spectra signals. All over the Vandalay campus.
Okay, it's not actually sequel bait, but throughout the game, I did find these secret doors that can't be opened. Not even the characters know what it is. And as expected, these doors are basically one of those DMC-style secret missions. Unfortunately, I haven't completed all of them, and whatever it is, I'm gonna guess it's some kind of secret message saying congratulations. Or maybe it is sequel bait. Or maybe Cinnamon becomes a summon. I don't know. I could just spoil myself if I want to, since the option is always there on the internet.
Would you like to know more?
But for now, guess I'll never know. There's also some other post-game content you can do, such as arcade arenas, model viewers, and all new difficulty where you'll instantly lose if your rhythm gauge gets a D. Ouch! Your Rockstar sucks! And that was Hi-Fi Rush, Tango Gameworks' final game work. I should be happy that I'm finally playing this game 1 year after I got this for my birthday, but if the studio no more, I can't help but feel sad, because I know I have a feeling that the sequel could be better if they improve some of my problems, like the boring arena variety and the boss variety. The rest of my criticisms, if they want to improve, should be a side note or a bonus. Like I even start predicting what kind of new stuff they should put, but why am I making predictions of something that's already dead? And I still can't get over how their studio shut down on my birthday. Like, it's like I'm being punished. Does that make sense to you? I don't know what's gonna happen 10 or 30 years later, but Hi-Fi Rush is definitely going to be that one game or IP from a long time ago, still being a huge legacy. You know, the thing where people would say, Oh, I wish that game would come back again. Or get a new sequel. And the only way I think this game is gonna make a comeback is if the original devs or someone managed to get the hold of this game's IP. But as of now, it's now trapped in video game limbo forever. Like, why Microsoft? Why? Aren't game companies supposed to be greedy? This game made money. Why the hell do you shut down the studio for? Like, it feels like success and failure doesn't even matter in the game industry anymore. And you know what's funny? Kale mentioning how new products are hard to think of, yet this game is a brand new original idea and it made cash. Like, just why Microsoft? Are you this stupid that you had to throw away all the diamonds to the lava? Final score, 4 cinder points. Listen, I'm sorry that I had to make that rant. I just don't get what they were thinking shutting down Tango Gameworks. It just sucks that we never get to see how Chai's adventures continue, or if he made some new friends to start a band with them. Which sounds like a good sequel since most of his current friends are just company workers, while he's the artist. Of course, that's probably not the story because I'm not part of the dev team, and the story's probably gonna be something else. Well, at least there's one thing I learned about this game. Chai may be 25, but I'm 24. And if he's that old to make music, maybe I'm not too old to make music. I hate music theory! Ow! My knees!